beyond the music. It's Real Talk with G-Love and Kenny the Rocker on Florida Man Radio.
On the line, the one and only Ron Keel. How you doing, Ron?
I am doing great. Great to check in with you guys on Florida Man Radio. Kenny the Rocker and G-Love, what's going on in your world?
Hey, it's going, Betty. Say hi there, G-Love.
What's up, Ron Keel?
Yeah. Oh,
How
you're flirting with him now, right?
Yeah. No, he's hot.
She
what
asked
are you
me,
talking
first
about?
question, she asked me, is he married?
Of course. What girl doesn't ask that question?
You. Hey, Ron went quiet on us.
I know, right? Oh, what do I say?
Hey, Ron, you still there?
I'm just soaking up the adulation, man. It's all good.
So, Ron, hey, that's something new, right? That's an old Blackfoot cover you just did there.
That is off the brand new Ron Keel Band album, South by South Dakota. It's a collection of classic Southern rock legendary tunes from Molly Hatchet, Skinner, Blackfoot, 38 Special, The Outlaws, and just our tribute to the icons of that genre.
Yeah, you might as well just say Florida at this point. I mean, that's a lot of Florida bands there, too.
That's right.
Yeah, we're definitely all about it. So, Ron, I just want to say thanks to you real quick. I was on your show earlier today, just right before I came on. You got a show, it's called, what is it? Tell me what it is.
Streets of Rock and Roll, and a huge response, Kenny, to your appearance on my show today. And we've got that show airing on multiple affiliate stations all week long. So we're going to get a lot of coverage for you and for this fantastic cookbook, Rockin' Recipes for Autism.
I appreciate it, Ron. I really do, man. And Ron put a chili recipe in there. So he's got a good hot chili. It's like a county fair winning chili recipe or something like that.
Well, I want to see Kenny the Rocker and Ron Keel cooking side by side, and I want to see who's the best.
I don't
I don't know if I can compete with this guy.
Oh, okay.
He knows his food, and he's very serious about the topic. Nobody else could put together a cookbook like this with all these all-star rockers contributing just a huge variety of fantastic recipes. I can't wait to try many of them myself.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You know, I did a lot of, because, you know, I live in that 80s metal world kind of thing, so I got a lot of guys from that, but I got a couple other guys from like UFO and the Loving Spoonful. I went old school, and then I've got some young guys like Palais Royale and Alita's Way, and those are, you know, just kind of mixed it all up. But I was really glad that Ron was in it, for sure.
Well, and Ron,
I appreciate the invitation. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's okay. I bet, too, when you got the book, I mean, because I've been listening about this book for a while now. But
Too long.
No, it's okay. But when I got it, I was like, man, this thing is really nice. Like, it's done well. You know, something to be proud of, for sure.
Yeah, Kenny's got a great package. I'm sure, we all know about
thanks,
that.
Ron.
But, I mean,
No, don't give him that. No.
Save that. Ron Keel said I had a great package that'll make TMZ tomorrow. Save that link right there. I'm kidding, brother.
It's just beautiful, man. This is something that will live in all of our kitchens for many years to come. Beautiful hardbound book with full-color glossy photos, nice, thick, hefty paper, and just a really, really well done. I was surprised, G-Love, as well, when I received it, because I didn't know what to expect.
Exactly.
But I'm really, really proud of it. And on the back cover, it's got all the artists listed, but it doesn't say Ron Keel. It says Metal Cowboy. I really thought that was cool.
Well, that's what you told me, man. You said the AKA Metal Cowboy, so I love it, you know.
Hey, listen, we got a question from a fan out there, by the way, if you don't mind real quickly, if I can ask it.
Absolutely.
It says, Jesse from Rewind It magazine, he wanted to know What made you decide to cover the song because of the night back in the day? I guess you did a cover or something back then. He just wants to know what made you decide to cover that.
That Because the Night song was the lead single off our 1986 album, Final Frontier, which was top 100 on the Billboard charts. And like most of my work, it was just a spur-of-the-moment inspiration. I heard the song on the radio. We were looking for something to cover, and I heard it in the car radio and thought, man, I could just hear this rocked-out, keelized version of this song. I played it for our producer, Gene Simmons. I actually did a home demo of it, played it for Gene Simmons from KISS, our producer on the record, and Gene agreed that it was a great choice to cover on that Final Frontier album in '86. So
wow.
Really proud of that. The song still lives on through every show that I do. We actually did a new version of that song last year on the Fight Like a Band album from Ron Keel Band, because I've had a lot of practice singing it the last 30 odd years, and I felt like I'd like to take another shot at it, and so I'm really proud of the new version as well.
Oh, that's cool. You know, listen, Ron, so I do like a thing today. After I get done with you, I'll do like this little 4-minute rock report. So I usually go to like Blabbermouth or Rolling Stone or Loudwire or whatever. But anyways, today in my rock report, I looked at this. I was going to just tell you about it. So today I looked at Blabbermouth, and they said Ron Keel spoke up about the time he nearly joined Black Sabbath in 1984 while the legendary heavy metal act was looking for a replacement for Ian Gillan.
Blabbermouth mentioned that today?
Today, yeah, man. It was the first story on Blabbermouth today when I went about 2 hours ago to look at it.
Interesting. I haven't seen that yet, but I've been hearing that news since 1984 when I was a member of Black Sabbath. And recently got to actually fulfill the final steps of that dream come true on a project called Emerald Sabbath, where 10 or so Black Sabbath alumni, like myself, guys who had been in the band, got together and did a tribute record, and I got to sing 3 songs from Sabbath's history: an Ozzy song, Hole in the Sky, an Ian Gillan cut, Trashed, off Born Again, and the Ronnie James Dio cut, Die Young, from Heaven and Hell. So I got to cover all 3 of those iconic Black Sabbath singers with an all-star cast of musicians. Vinny Appice on drums, Rudy Sarzo on bass. It was a dream come true for me, and I'm really proud of the results. I think that Ronnie James Dio, wherever he's listening from, I think he'd be proud as well. So that's a great project. EmeraldSabbath.com.
I'll check it out. You know, the thing is, now, obviously, Ozzy's one thing, but man, come on. Ronnie James Dio, one of the best singers in the world, by the way.
That's crazy. Hey, listen, also out there in the world of fact or fiction, I saw where Steeler may be making a comeback. Is that true?
I'm sure you probably saw the same stuff that I saw earlier this morning. But Steeler actually did a reunion show, our first show in 35 years. Last year, 1-year anniversary was yesterday. We celebrated that, the 1-year anniversary of Keel Fest, where I had the Ron Keel Band, Steeler for the first time in 35 years, and my band Keel, all 3 bands on the bill for a show called Keel Fest in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
A continuous 3-hour performance. We played 38 songs throughout my entire career, and it was a dream come true. I'd love to do that again at some point. We'll see what happens.
You know, it's funny. So the first thing that we did today when we started the show, G Love started giving me all these facts about Ron Keel. That you're like our Ron Wikipedia, but you were having something about the song.
No, it's this cool little VIP fact page.
And what was the one about the other band? You mentioned a band I didn't know.
Saber Tiger.
What is Saber Tiger? Is that like how long ago was that?
Oh, that's a great story. I don't know if we have time for the full version, but the full story is in my book, Even Keel, Life on the Streets of Rock and Roll, my autobiography. But that's the heaviest record I ever did, and recorded that in Japan with a guitar hero called Akihito Kinoshita. This guy he's like the Yngwie of Japan. He had 3 greatest hits albums out at the time, and they hired me to go to Japan, write the lyrics for that record, and sing some of that brutal, just really progressive, hard metal. What a great project. I'm really still very proud of that. And fans who subscribe to my page, patreon.com/Ron Keel, can download the entire album for free.
You know, I was telling G Love earlier before we got on the air, I'm like, listen, let me tell you one thing about Ron Keel. Ron Keel is a hardworking MFer. That guy has pages, and he's doing albums, and he's got radio. Listen, I really respect you on that level, Ron. Like I said, the only story I had on Ron, I met Ron, he don't even remember, but it was like 1988. I was in California rehearsing at a rehearsal place, and Ron was rehearsing probably for a show or a tour or something. But I was like, that's Ron Keel. Right there. Now, you live in Arizona now, right?
I remember you.
No, you
I
didn't.
remember you. You were that sleazy-looking dude with the long hair in
They
Hollywood.
all
in
looked sleazy
1988,
back then.
89.
Ron, you know damn good and well that we could have just took hairdos and moved it from person to person. We all looked exactly the same, man.
I know, man. So
But,
I do remember the studio, and I remember that experience, but hopefully
crazy.
we'll run into each other again.
Soon.
And renew that friendship and maybe do some shows together, promote the cookbook, whatever you need, man. I'm always here for you now.
Well, I need blabbermouth, so just to let you know, however you hook that up, just let me know how you got that.
All right.
But
I
listen,
want it.
you got it.
They got
Hey,
better things to talk about than Black Sabbath, man. They should be talking about this cookbook, Rockin' Recipes for Autism. It's an amazing project, Kenny. Congratulations
Oh, thanks,
on so
man.
many levels. The food is fantastic. The presentation, the way it's written, and the fact that, you know, a lot of these rockers that contributed to the book are, you know, we're closet chefs. I mean,
Right.
that's part of my therapy, going in the kitchen and I don't have a whole variety of items that I love to cook or that I cook well, but I really enjoy it. It's my therapy. I go in the kitchen, I try and cook up some of my favorite dishes and share them with my wife and my family. And for a lot of these rockers that contributed to the book, man, they're in a hurry. You know, you don't often have time to prepare meals the way that your wife would or your mom would. So you do like Steve Lukather and you just unwrap a Snickers bar.
I know,
right?
that was funny, right? He's a funny guy, man.
Fantastic.
No, I just love it from the guys that, I mean, all the guys in the book are super cool. These are just like the circle of friends. And they, like I said, a lot of them are chefs, man. They're all good cooks.
Well, I have another marketing idea because I think you probably are the most sexiest person I've ever seen wear a cowboy hat. So I have in my brain, because you have the most beautiful cowboy hats. I don't know where you get them, but I think you need to come up with a line of cowboy hats. Ron Keel.
Well, I would love to plug my hat maker. It's a company called Centervention Thread. Centerventionthreads.com. They make these custom cowboy hats for me. I also have a few from rockandrollgangstar.com.
Oh, yeah.
I collect cowboy hats like I do guitars. I don't know how many hats I have. I don't know how many guitars I have, but there's always room for one more.
Right.
Oh, man. Anyone you ever want to give away, just let me know. I'll give you my personal address.
Yeah, you give him something.
right.
No, you better watch that.
Bring it on.
Yeah, right, Ron.
Keep that in mind.
Hey, so Ron, with this whole, pandemic, virus thing, whatever, everybody's sitting around on their butts. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this in your life? I mean, people are just sitting around. I mean, you must be ready to go out and rock and roll even yourself, right?
Well, I've been through a lot of life-changing times in my lifetime. Of course, 9/11 comes to mind. That was a day that changed everything for all of us. Travel and life and security and liberty and freedom have never been the same since 9/11. Who knows what the long-term repercussions or effects of this pandemic will be years from now. I am itching to get back out there and play and sing live, and I just wonder, I don't know. And you talk to 40, 50, 100 people in the business, and nobody knows.
Nobody
We're
knows.
just kind of all making it up as we go along and taking it one day at a time. I do hope that we get back in action for at least part of our summer tour at the Sturgis Rally.
Yes.
That's a big event for us every year. We've got 6 shows booked. Hopefully they will happen, and then from there we come back to our hometown of Sioux Falls for a huge outdoor benefit concert, and then we head to Columbus, Ohio, and then Detroit after that. That's all in August. We're hoping that the smoke clears, so to speak, by the time but we're ready to hit the road. Of course, the May and June and July dates are all out the window at this point, unfortunately. But we'll just keep doing what we do. As I may have told you, Kenny, I was built for this. My wife was diagnosed with cancer several years ago.
Right.
And when you get that diagnosis, everything changes just like it did when the lockdown or 9/11.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a life changer.
I remember that happening to you,
We went
too.
into quarantine that day.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I've got to focus my attention on taking care of her. We've got to keep everything clean and wipe down the doorknobs and the light switches and find a way to work from home. So I did that. I built that Patreon platform where you could go online and get exclusive video, audio, song downloads, live interaction with me and my fans. And that's a way for me to continue to entertain and provide the fans with some cool content from home base.
Right.
But yeah, I'm anxious to get back out on the road and rock and roll and see all our friends out there.
Isn't Sturgis, isn't this their 80th anniversary?
Yeah, it is,
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's a good.
When is the month
80th
for it?
Yeah.
August.
Oh,
Where are you playing at? You playing at the Buffalo? You playing at the
The
Buffalo?
first couple of weekends in August.
You doing the Buffalo Chip, or you doing over there Easy Rider, or where are you playing at over there?
We've got a couple of different gigs that are in the works, 2 different shows at 3 separate venues. The Glencoe Campground, the Full Throttle, and Kickstand.
So, and what's the update on it? Does anybody know? Have they said anything?
Well, they haven't said no yet.
Well, here's what's happening.
Yeah, tell me.
And the Sturgis City Council is having a meeting on June 15th to determine if the event will proceed.
Oh.
Now, from everybody that I've talked to in the biker community, the event is going to proceed whether they like it or not. I think you're going to see the descent of the American biker culture upon Sturgis, South Dakota in August, whether it's sanctioned or official or not.
Yeah,
now,
the word I heard about that
will be affected by that.
Yeah, the word I heard about that is that that's going to go on unless they bring the National Guard out there. That's
It's Sturgis, man.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going.
But those are all good gigs too. Glencoe's a great gig.
Yeah.
Full Throttle's a great gig. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely, man. That's our wheelhouse. And that's always a highlight for us every year. Yeah. And it's a place where it's kind of like doing the residency in Vegas, where you can do a week or 2 in Vegas, and the world comes to you. The Sturgis Rally is the same way. I mean, you can go to Sturgis and perform for a week, and you're going to see people from all over the world.
Yeah,
they're going to go back where they came from, spread the word, and it's kind of like that residency, so to speak.
You know, it's funny you say that. I can't believe I haven't seen you on Raiding the Rock Vault yet. I'm just saying, you'd be perfect for that. Have you done that already?
I appreciate that. I love that show, and a lot of good friends in that show. When I lived in Vegas we lived there for 10 years, and I've got so many good friends in that Raiding the Rock Vault show. Highly recommended gig, but I've just been too busy to lock myself into a day job, so to speak. Being the Metal Cowboy, and I love those guys. I love watching the show. We've seen it many times, and once Vegas opens back up, I highly recommend it to anybody making their plans to go to Las Vegas. Also, a great Kiss tribute called Kiss. They're one of my sponsors of my radio show. I can't forget the name of the show. Kiss. I should look it up. It's the Kiss tribute in Vegas.
Yeah, those guys.
Damn, they're one of my sponsors. They're probably listening to slapping me upside the head mentally right now.
Well, listen, Ron. But
I haven't been mentioning that show because the show's been on hiatus. So it's been a few months since they were active.
Yeah. Well, listen, Ron, we got to go. I'll tell you, I totally appreciate it. Thanks for all you've done. Thanks for having me on your show. And thanks for helping with the cookbook. And like I said, when you get to Orlando, you got a friend here in Orlando now with a voice. And anything comes down, because you have a lot of fans in Florida, by the way. We had a lot of response. And I guess real quick, just social media, just what is it? RonKeel.com. How do you find it? How's everybody check it out?
RonKeel.com. Yes, please. And the name of the show is Kiss This, by the way. Kiss This, the Kiss Tribute Show.
There you go.
My website, RonKeel.com. You can find everything there, man. The social media links, the videos, the tour dates, when the tour dates get back in motion, and the link to the Patreon page where you can subscribe and get the inside scoop and the radio show and all that. One-stop shop, RonKeel.com.
Listen, man, appreciate it. I know you're working with Bill Shavis now, so tell him I said go to hell.
Nice.
I'm kidding. I'm friends with Bill.
Hopefully Bill's listening as well. Hopefully
he
just heard you say that live on the air.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, Ron.
G-Love, Kenny, thanks so much, man. Keep up the great work. Thanks for having me on the show tonight.
Thanks,
and I can't wait to talk to you again and get some more promotion going for this great cookbook, Rockin' Recipes for Autism.com.
Thanks, Ron. Talk to you soon, my man. Peace.
Okay.
Ho, ho.